It's a book filled with tragedy.
Today, we're here to focus on 5-year-old Sarah, 2-year-old Anthony, and 1-year-old Miquan.
All 3 were in foster care. All 3 were eventually reunited with parents. All 3 died violently shortly after supervision orders were lifted. Each mother was charged with killing her child, and the conclusions of this report: the system must take reuniting children with family as seriously as it does apprehension.
And we think that the needs are comparable, we think that the issues are comparable, and we think that the resources should be applied in a comparable way.
I think the hands-off approach just happens just a little too bluntly, the way the system is configured right now. So there's a very sort of black and white line of this is where the support ends.
The deaths mean grief and, for Graff, frustration. He reviewed a similar case last year and made similar recommendations.
I think my references are becoming a bit harsher because in many ways I'm not feeling like the government is hearing the recommendations and acting on them in the way that I'd hoped that they would.
The government says its agreement to some of these prior recommendations is much more than merely lip service. This work is incredibly important to them. But some of the work is rather complicated, and it's going to take some time. For the rest of the work, some of the more straightforward things, the issue there is more bureaucratic and how this work is tracked.
Many steps have been taken, and the reporting process is twice a year. There's public reporting about what's happened specifically with regard to the recommendations. That public reporting process didn't capture all of the work that had been done.
Hoffman says most children now have longer transition periods back to homes. Other changes are happening too, because nobody wants to hear about more cases like these. Fletcher Kent, Global News.